everybody. So I'm gonna be doing this new series where I talk about my favorite vampire movies. Oh, it's not in frame. I have a little bat up there. I was gonna use them as an example as to why I love vampires. We got vampire there. It's fine. It cancels out. Um, but I wanted to I really do like vampire movies a lot, and I just like movies a lot and talking about them and like the different quality of things like the soundtrack and the acting and the actors, as well as like the lighting and all that fun stuff. So I have a nice list here of all these vampire movies I've watched. Some pretty well known, some lesser known, some like iconic cult classic vampire movies, and others are just like redos of original vampire movies. So I'm gonna do a little series, and I'm very excited about it. And if you have any suggestions for vampire movies for me to watch while I go along this, just go right ahead. I'm very excited about this little series I have coming up. So, just to give you a little teaser, what I had in mind were movies like Fright Night, Once Bitten, Lost Boys. Clearly, Olivia loves the 80s. But I'm also going to talk about ones that, like, I don't hate, but, like, that aren't my personal top choice, but I still found ways to enjoy them because I do like vampires. I might throw a couple werewolf movies in there too, like American Werewolf in London, just because I feel like it fits in that vein. Vein is an interesting word choice considering it's about vampires. But it's going to be a mixture of me doing a little research as well as freshly watching the movie. Or, for example, I've seen Lost Boys so many times, I have all the dialogue memorized. That image of the saxophone guy on the beach lives in my head vividly all the time. So basically, if movies come in like a set or are set to a similar world, like the Twilight series or the Underworld series or stuff like that, I'm going to talk about that a little as well. Or if like redos of things that are TV shows and are now movies, or was a TV show and is now a movie, like Dark Shadows or What We Do in the Shadows, which there's a little less of a time gap between What We Do in the Shadows compared to Dark Shadows. Way less of a time gap. But really, it's just going to be a mixture of me doing research as well as freshly watching it. And it's going to start out sounding cohesive, where I talk about it was designed by such and it aired and blah, 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 and blah. And then it's just going to go into me tangenting, like improvised, just my initial thoughts that come to my head. And I'm sure I'm going to miss things. Like, I'm going to talk about things and completely miss, like, stuff. But it's mostly going to stay focused to movies. The only thing I'm really going to talk about TV show-wise is if the movie relates to a TV show, like Buffy, how it's different actors but it's like the same story. So it's a long list. I'm very excited. I've thrown in a couple Marvel things in there too because it's Marvel. I clearly like Marvel. I don't have examples of that behind me really either. Well, I have Groot. I wish I had more examples of things I liked behind me. I don't even need this. It's not Christmas anymore. But see, it's gonna be a lot of that where I just say random crap at random moments. So I hope you guys are excited for this series as I am, because I'm very excited. I like to talk about like my hyperfixations, and I really do like vampires. So I hope you guys are very excited because there's a lot of good things coming.